Last week I had a meeting with the IMF team, came to Colombo, and they told me that we had overperformed, which is rather surprising. I suppose the crisis affected us all adversely. I need not say how business suffered. The number of small businesses that had to close, the number of people who left this country. But it also gave us an opportunity to correct what was wrong. This is why I spoke with the IMF and agreed with them to do the debt restructuring. There was no other way out for Sri Lanka. People give me different solutions. Some of them are good, but the fact is that I have to work with the IMF. And because the IMF certificate is needed for me to deal with all our creditors. And I thought I'd just mention to you what we have done in the last year. From 2022, mainly all our reforms are done in 2022 and 2023. Key business impediments during the worst of our crisis have been resolved. Supply bottlenecks for essential commodities such as fuel, electricity were resolved. All import restrictions other than personal motor vehicles have now been removed. Foreign exchange liquidity in the banking sector has been fully restored, allowing sourcing imports for supply chain requirements without impediments. With improvements in tourism and remittances, Sri Lanka will run a primary surplus in the balance of payments for the first time since 1977. Contrary to expectation, the currency which had depreciation in 2022 has now settled under 325 rupees for the US dollar, following a 10% depreciation in 2022. Inflation has been brought down from 70% in 2022 to 4% by December 2023. Interest rates which were increased to control inflation have been reduced to 11.9% by January. Macroeconomic stabilization has enabled the economy to revert to growth from the third quarter of 2023 after 6 successive quarters of negative growth. The budget deficit, which has been a primary contributor to the crisis, has been improved significantly, with Sri Lanka achieving a primary budget surplus in 2023 following a primary deficit of 5.7%. So we've got a primary budget surplus plus our foreign exchange surplus. The debt restructuring process is moving along effectively. All of Sri Lankan's key officials and creditors have agreed in principle to restructure debt in line with the IMF target requirements. The next steps are to complete discussions with the commercial creditors. Given all the above positive developments, the IMF approved Sri Lanka's first program review in December 2023, and this paves the way for the economy to shift from stabilization to recovery and growth from 2024. Growth is expected driven by export of goods, services and investments, including FDI. Government is developing access to market for businesses established in Sri Lanka by expanding the network of trade agreements. Following the successful conclusion of an FTA with Singapore, we have now concluded an FTA with Thailand, which we will sign on 3rd of February. The government is also in the latter stages of talks to conclude a comprehensive FTA with India, including trade in services along with an investment agreement. A similar agreement will be entered into with China, and talks will commence soon with other Southeast Asian nations. Sri Lanka has also initiated accession to RCEP and is awaiting institutional arrangements for accession to be finalized by RCEP to proceed. Along with deeper integration in Asia, Sri Lanka also has access to GSP+, providing extensive duty-free access to the European markets. Other priority sectors for growth and investment include renewable energy, agriculture modernization, tourism, IT and related sectors and logistics. The government will also welcome private investments into infrastructure development in the form of public-private partnerships with a PPP law to provide legislative and procedural clarity in the final stages of drafting. There are also opportunities for investments in the divestment of state-owned enterprises. This provides investors access to a mature business in critical sectors such as telecommunications, financial services, transportation services, energy, among others. A SOE restructuring law is also in the final stages of drafting. Sri Lanka is in advanced stage of drafting a new investment law, which is expected to provide even more liberal market access in key sectors. The new law and a new economic commission will see an integrated approach to the development and promotion of trade and investment in Sri Lanka that is more conducive to the country's vision of deeper integration with global markets. We will also be converting the Port City Commission into a Colombo Financial Zone Commission, which will also handle the offshore economy. Finally, we are also bringing in a National Productivity Commission to ensure the competitiveness of Sri Lanka's economy. So this is the first stage of reforms that we are bringing. And this we hope to complete by end of this year.